Hello and welcome back to Who You'd, an unofficial Doctor Who watch along podcast. Today we're talking about the episode Warriors of the Deep. But before we get into the episode, my name is Ben and I'm here with my co-host Cam. How you doing today, Cam?
Yeah, I'm having a day. It's one of those days where you're just kind of like,
Yeah,
the day's gonna be over soon. I'm in a weird state right now because I'm like, in terms of my media, I'm not really like. There's no video game or no TV show that I'm currently watching or playing. So it's like I'm kind of in that in between state of like I feel like I need to find something to invest my time into. Media.
yeah.
It's like it's always good when you come home and you're like, oh yeah, I've got a show to watch, or oh, I have a game that I need to play, and you're thinking about that. It's like I don't have anything like that at the moment, so I need to figure out what I'm gonna do. I'm scared that it's gonna be Mad Men again, Ben. I can't rewatch Mad Men again. Um, I basically rewatch it every year. I don't know if you know this about me, Ben.
I don't.
I rewatch it every year. It's an obsession. It's not good for me. It's not good for me at all.
Yeah, I
And
express
you know what's also not good, Ben?
Warriors of the Deep.
No, no, no. It's only well, yes, it's only this is only for you. But every single time that one of me or Ryan rewatch it, what happens is the other one rewatches it. So it's just we're just enamored of each other. It's bad.
Damn.
It's very bad.
Does that mean I have to watch it?
See, I don't know if you would like it, Ben. Is the 1960s an interesting decade for you?
I don't know anything. I
You don't know
mean,
anything about the 1960s. You're just like it's just a blank. You don't, Ben. Especially if we're recording this on Martin Luther King Day. Like,
was that the 60s?
Jesus Christ, Ben. The American education system, ladies and gentlemen.
I know Doctor Who started in 63 and
Yes,
the first Beatles album came out in 62.
yes,
There's probably some like historical
yes.
events
A,
that
a
happened in the
lot of
world.
assassinations. A lot of assassinations.
Was JFK then?
Yeah, good job, Ben. I don't know if this is a bit or if you're being serious.
I'm terrible. History was one of my worst subjects because I'm terrible at memorization.
I loved history. I I feel like I'm doing myself a disservice from not being a history person. Like I feel like I should be more in it. I should be reading books. I should be watching documentaries all the time. I should just be a wealth of knowledge. Like I don't know if you had a dad or a grandfather that was obsessed with the History Channel or the Military Channel or any of that stuff.
I would much rather spend my time learning what the Enterprise is up to than to what people did 100 years ago, to be
See,
honest.
I had grandfather that would just watch the History Channel and the Military Channel all the time. So guess what? You wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. The only person's up is my grandfather. And what does he have on? It's the Military Channel. So guess what you're doing, Ben? You're watching this documentary about this war that happened, and you have no context of. But you're like, okay, I guess this is what I have to watch.
Wow.
But talking about war,
Yes. Warriors of the
yeah,
Deep
yeah, yeah,
was
yeah.
broadcast January 5th through January 13th, 1984 on BBC One. This was written by Johnny Byrne, who previously did Arc of Infinity and The Keeper of Traken. To
But also, it's very telling that this is his last story.
yeah, a little bit of behind the scenes. TARDIS Wiki says he wrote this as like an allegory for the Cold War, but it's had to be toned down. And Byrne was so disappointed by the outcome that he vowed never to work on the show again. And this was directed by Pennant Roberts, who has done quite a few things, which are all, I think, at least decent. Face of Evil, Sunmakers, Pirate Planet, and Shadow.
Yeah, Pennant Roberts.
Has
So is this
some.
his last story that he did?
He'll will round out his career.
Don't wait a minute. Wait, don't say that he's gonna end it with the last episode this season.
No, he will round out his career with Time Lash.
Oh God. Honestly, Ben, from what I have seen for Doctor Who, that might be the story that might be worse than Warriors from the Deep. So look forward to that next season.
Yeah, just jumping into it.
Wait. Pause. We gotta talk about the production stuff because this had
Okay.
a bunch of production issues. So the main thing was like they called for like there was an election that happened, so they didn't have like the studio space to do what they usually do. So like it wasn't rehearsed. And like the mirror in particular was like created last minute,
Yeah. I
and you
was
can tell, of course.
very last minute, not up to standards. Uh, the TARDIS wiki says the paint and the glue wasn't dry yet, so the actors inside were like inhaling fumes and being lightheaded.
And it was only finished in only a half an hour before they started filming, which is insane.
And Pennant Roberts begged J&T to let them take it out, describing it as not the icing on the cake, but the lard at the bottom of the pan.
Yeah. But that's also part of the problem with the mirror is that it's built up to. They talk about it so much, and then it's like
Merca.
the America. Sorry, what did I say? The Mara?
He said like
Yeah, the Mara's
myrrh,
so yeah, the
but
America. It's so built up to in the story, and then you get that, and it's like, oh, I did. I listened to the little bit of J and T did wrote a book before he passed. He also did an audiobook for Big Finish, or at least Big Finish sells it. I think it was with Big Finish if they sell it. But anyways, so I was listening to like the segment he did for Warriors from the Deep for this episode, and he mentions in it that like they were in like the. Do you remember Ben in the not the documentary, but the docu fiction story of the Adventures of Space and Time that they did for the
yeah,
50th year that you watched? Remember how they like were in like a control room,
yeah,
so like the director, the producer is not really actually on set. They're in this room with all the cameras because it's like all it's multicam, you know?
yeah, because it's like filmed live.
Imagine if all the top guys are in this room and the first time they see the the America, sorry, is the first time they see the America is on this multicam view in this one room, and you see it what the camera sees, and you're just like, shit.
Yep.
Like he like it's kind of fun or not fun, but like it is eye view. It's eye opening to see that like they're not fucking dumb. They knew that this was shit. It's not like they were like, oh, you know what? Actually, this actually is pretty well done. It's like they knew that from the get go that yeah, we kind of messed this one up.
But they gotta put out. It's too late at that point. You gotta put it
Yeah.
out.
He also said something interesting before we go on to our thoughts of this episode that I did think is a major complaint this story, but he also points it out is that because all these locations of this episode, it's like actually not badly designed, but the problem is it's all white. It's all brightly lit, so it's like doesn't help the Merca. It doesn't help the Silurians. It doesn't help the Sea Devils. So everything just looks dumb. That's a special effect, basically.
Yeah.
So he was saying that like maybe if like one of his regrets was it could have had some type of effect that the lights could have went in and out. They could have had like a multicolored light because they were on like emergency power or something like that. That made the story be darkly lit or or different lit. Like helped with the lighting. That like that he thinks that would have improved the story.
Make it
Which
a little more horror.
yeah,
Cam, what did you think of Warriors of the Deep?
I don't got much to say except for it's a very boring. It's one of those stories that just has more almost nothing to care about. Like, I'm just mostly bored throughout the whole story. Not mostly, all of the story I'm bored for. The first part, which is usually at least in even Underworld, which is a bad story, but at least in Underworld, I thought that first part, I'm like, okay, there's something here. I'm interested. What are you setting up here? And then it really falls apart once we actually find out what the story is going to be about. But at least
No.
that first part, I'm like, okay, this is a first part Doctor Who story. I'm at least curious about what's going to happen this week. This story doesn't even have that. You're not interested in this story from like 5 minutes in, not even 5 minutes in like the first scene, you're not interested in what's happening on Warriors from the Deep. I'm
Yes.
sorry, Warriors of the Deep. Like you just do not care.
I really tried to go into this with an open mind, but like pretty much it is very consistently boring for the entirety of it. Like we've had bad stories, stuff where like stuff doesn't work, but usually there's like a little glimmer of something. But this
Yeah.
I was like almost offended at how bad this was. Like I just wanted it to be over yesterday,
Yeah.
which I think is the first time I was like Underworld is at least like an interesting train wreck, and Terminus, which we talked about a couple episodes ago, is bad, but it just nothing comes together here. It should be we have these returning villains after 13 odd years, uh, and they look bad, they're poorly written to the point where it's like it ruins almost the legacy of those monsters.
God, you know what? I really regret not listening to the commentary track for this episode. Like, I would have loved to have heard what Eric Sayward, Peter Davison, and Janet Fielding said.
Do you have the DVD?
I do not have this on DVD, sadly. That commentary track must be fun to listen to. Because you know the whole entire time there just has to be laughing about it and just
Yeah.
going, "This is not working at all."
A noteworthy thing to talk about maybe first is the Silurians and the Sea Devils. First, I would say they look bad.
Yeah,
Agreed?
but they also kind of look bad, and I don't think the Sea Devils look bad, but the Silurians kind of also the Silurians have the same problem as they did 10 years before this episode was made, or even it was more than 10 years. But like it has the same issue of just like it just has no emotion. So like it's so hard to buy into this creature, especially when you don't have the writing as strong as something like Doctor Who and the Silurians.
Yeah.
It really makes you just go, I am bored by what's happening on screen when it's only and so much of the story, it is just the Silurians. They don't even give them anyone else to interact with. It's just them on their ship,
Yeah.
just
The
being there.
Sea Devils, I would also say look terrible. Like
Well, no, they.
the
I would say that the Silurians did. We saw the Sea Devils looked good in their debut,
or
but
Sea Devils now look terrible.
now when they're little samurai get up, you
Cuz
did you not appreciate them being little samurais?
no, I didn't. I'm not even talking about that though. I'm talking about how the Sea Devil heads are just like hats that the actor's
Mm.
wearing, and they have like this bulging neck that just looks terrible, which is where the actor's real face is.
Sorry, here's my question, Ben. Right when it comes to the samurai sea devils, okay, hear me out. What do you think happened first, the Japanese samurai or the Silurian, the sea devil samurai? Do you think the Japanese basically were like, oh my god, what are these things that's coming out of the ocean? And they're like, maybe we should dress like that. Or do you think it was like these sea devils woke up and were like, they got they got the right idea, those samurai,
It's possible, but
that the sea devils' story was just weebs.
neither type of actor can see where they're going. It's
No.
very clear that they're walking like very slowly, and they're kind of like arms outstretched. They don't know what's
Yeah.
happening.
But yeah, the Silurians and Sea Devils, right? This is the first time in all of Doctor Who that they are together, and there's no explanation of why they are together. That at least I can remember.
I mean, it's the Silurians at first, and they're like, "Oh, we gotta wake our brethren," and they do,
But
and
why are the Sea Devils even in the sea? Isn't that what the Sea Devils are for?
because they gotta wake their sea devils. That's what they're doing. They gotta team up against the common enemy, I guess, or something. I don't know. I don't really care. It's so bad, Cam. It's so bad.
See, that's the whole fault with this episode because it's so boring. You just don't care about any aspect of the story. You're just like, get let's just finish this. Let's just get through the next part. I just want this to be over. And like the story there isn't really interesting. The whole like we have like the whole nuclear deterrence, bombs, missiles, and making a statement about, oh, you know what, the Cold War is actually bad. It's like that's something that's been so covered in media, and they don't
Yeah,
do really anything interestingly with that concept.
and it's definitely that it just gets muddled and watered
Yes.
down, and it's not even really about that anymore.
And then like another aspect where Maybe another bad story, at least we could find some glimmer in it, would be the doctor and, like, the companions, right? With
Yeah.
this story, there's just nothing to say about Peter Davison, Janet Fielding, and, Mox Strickson. Like, there's just nothing there for the Doctor, Tegan, and, Turlough. They're just kinda there throughout this story. They're not really making any big impact on this story. They're just kind of just it is a that's a really main complaint with a lot of 80s Doctor Who's that the companions and doctors are just kinda there. They show up, the events happen, and then they leave. They don't really have any impact on the stories. And this
Yeah.
is one of those cases where that is totally the case.
Absolutely. This is one of the stories where uh, the Fifth Doctor's kind of tendencies are really counterintuitive to what the narrative requires. Like, again, this if this story, even if it was the same, if it had like Pertwee here, someone who can really like take charge, kind of make these two factions see reason instead of just being like, well, uh, I guess I'll let them sort it out. I'm here.
Yep.
They're not gonna kill me, so that's good. I don't want to kill them. He doesn't make an impact on anything,
Nope.
and it really hurts the story, especially when they try and like at the end bring it back to like the same message
Yeah.
Doctor Who and the Silurians had, like, oh, this is such a tragedy, and if only we could have prevented this.
Yeah, it's like, "Oh, okay, doctor, sure. You really tried hard." Um, but, like, that is a complaint that's through a lot of 80s Doctor Who, and some of the times those stories work for me. But this is just one of those cases where that criticism really is true. That is just the Doctor needs to be somewhat involved in the story. You can't just write this story that doesn't revolve around our main protagonist.
Yes. Yeah, Turlo gets drafted, and that's about all he does.
Also, I hate that this is one of those guns where it feels really cheap, the gun stuff in this episode, where it's just
Yeah.
like it feels very much like school, like on a playground, going like bing 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 bing. It's like because there's not like any like blanks in the missiles. There's not even really any lasers in the missiles, if I remember correctly. It's like a lot of it is just pew 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 pew, and
Yeah.
like it's not engaging at all. But, like, just going back to the main thing, it's just like, there's never any consequences to the story where I'm like, "Oh, they just changed this whole aspect. I'm gonna now suddenly have interest in the story. I'm invested. What's gonna happen next?" I'm never like, "Oh, yeah. Now I'm invested." There's never that moment in the story at all.
Yeah. I think having two there's like a A plot and a B plot here because there's the Silurians and the Sea Devils, but also there's like spies from a warring faction and they're doing their thing.
Yeah.
And it's never more interesting than what the Silurian and the Sea Devils are doing. Not that that's particularly interesting either. Um,
But no, I disagree though, because I could imagine a world that actually works. It just has to be both of the A and B plots has to be engaging. I don't think the premise of just cutting back to the spy stuff and the saboteur, like that stuff could be fun and interesting, but it just isn't.
well, how would we improve this story then?
But also, before we get into that, I just want to say another complaint I have with this story, right? And I just want to point this out.
Yes.
Imagine this story, right? But it's not the Sea Devils and Silurians.
Okay.
Like they do not properly establish the Sea Devils and Silurians at all. This story.
No.
Like, they do not treat them like if you haven't seen those previous stories, you would be a little bit confused, this story. You're just
Yeah.
be like, "Okay, they're just the bad guys."
And you could swap them out with virtually any generic monster and the story would
Yes.
be pretty much the same.
Yes.
The fact that they're like underwater never comes into play.
No, no. This could be in space, and it could be the Cybermen for all and then,
Eh,
like, it's a big the Mercury is just a big, Cybermat.
It would have been the exact same story.
Like, I it's it's such a shame. especially like you bring back an interesting monster that is the Silurian slash Sea Devils,
Yeah,
which can have a lot of drama with them, but they don't use that drama at all. This story that they bring to the table.
it's very unfortunate. And this is, I believe, the last time either of these species appear in the classic
Yep,
show. They won't come back until,
Hungry Earth and Cold Blood in 2010, Series 5.
yeah. Hopefully they're doing better there.
Eh,
Or in the war between the land and the sea, they doing better.
eh. Like I have a soft spot for Colder Earth and Hungry Earth. I mean, sorry, it's Cold Blood and oh my god, I need to just check it real quick before I fucking because I swear if I fuck this up, I'm gonna be the Hungry Earth and Cold Blood. I think I said that the one before when I said it, but I just had a blank. But yeah, the Hungry Earth and Cold Blood, I have a soft spot for, but I know it has its problems, and
Yeah.
also like we will get it's gonna that's gonna be a fun episode when we get to it.
Are there any returning monsters in New Who that like, oh, that's so much better. It really expands on their classic counterparts.
I would say the Daleks.
The Daleks
The Daleks are never better as they are in Dalek. That's the best. That's the best Daleks ever been.
in series one.
Mhm.
Oh,
That's biased because that might be my favorite episode of Doctor Who of all time. So like, I love that episode so much.
I see. What about the Ice Warriors? Are they better in New Who?
See, like the common complaint with the first episode of when they bring back the Ice Warriors is they just remake Dalek. Uh, it's literally just the same exact episode. um, I don't know. I like those two those two. I was gonna say Simon. I like those two Ice Warrior stories, but I don't love them. But I also really don't love any of the Ice Warrior stories in Classic Who either. Like
Huh.
I Ice Warriors is fine. Seeds of Doom is okay to good. I don't really remember too much. No,
Seeds
sorry,
of Death.
it's Seeds of Death. I always get them confused. I think this has already been established on this podcast. Seeds of Death, it's fine. Like, do you remember too much about Seeds of Death?
Yeah, I mean, I think
The team at
Trout. Yeah, it's the first T-Mat.
Team Matt, and then like I just remember the last pot that trotted in with the Suds is very fun. Going
Yes.
the Suds. Um, but yeah, it's not like there's nothing that I'm like, oh yeah, they do them so much better in New
Cybermen.
Who. No, but the Cybermen is just always difficult because you want them to be like they were in Spare Pots, but like
Cybermen are
we
just
just never.
never as good as their platonic ideal
Yeah, because
ever.
it's a kid show, so you can't go too much into the body horror aspects of it. And really, Doctor Who doesn't, and so much the times the Cybermen are just evil robots because that's what they kind of are. But like, do the Borg have that problem?
Of what? Like
Just being
toning
evil robots things, or they're always interesting? Because of course, Cybermen and the Borg are very similar.
I would say it, the Borg, there many times in a couple of the shows. I'd say sometimes they're just robots, and
Yeah,
there are also really good episodes where they're really exploring their character. I think Voyager with Seven of Nine, who is a former Borg who joins the crew and has to like learn how to be human again while
mm.
also not, denying that she is a Borg. She's a great,
That sounds
great
very interesting.
character. Um,
Why do all Star Trek has to start off bad, Ben? I just want a Star Trek. I just want one of those good Star Trek shows that just it's like oh, it's consistent in its whole run.
no. Yeah, season 1 of every Star Trek show sucks. That's
And, like,
just
I was looking into it the other day of Next Generations, they were like I was watching Red Letter Meta's, video about Next Gen, and they were like, "Oh, yeah, even season 2's kinda sucks too." It's like, "Oh, great."
Deep Space Nine is the only one that maybe season 1 is I mean, it's not as good as the peak, but it's decent still.
Yeah, I know. I'm always tempted, man. I'm like, I should do it.
Maybe when just tell me when you wanna do a Star Trek podcast and I'm down.
That too much time, Ben. We're already 2 years deep in a Doctor Who podcast.
Just quit
Also,
your
which also, if we did an episode a week with Star Trek, we would be on season 1 for 2 fucking years. No, sorry. That's if we did an episode a month. Um,
no, yeah, we would be like,
would
say
we?
we skipped original and animated and started with next gen.
Yeah,
We would be we would watch season 1 and 2 over the course of a year because there's, like,
yeah.
26 episodes a
Yeah,
season.
yeah, yeah. So we right now we would be in like season like 5 of next gen.
Yeah,
What could have been if you were able
and
to
another
convince me for a Star
world.
Trek podcast instead of me convincing you to do a Doctor Who podcast.
Maybe when we're caught up with Doctor Who.
See, that's gonna be have to be the topic at hand of when we do that. But anyways, Ben, topic at
Warriors of
hand,
the
words
Deep.
from the deep. Who knows how much you're gonna cut from that? How much you're
How
gonna save?
could this story be made better?
Make it engaging. It's that simple.
Just
Um,
make it good. So
yes. Uh, I would say one let's really like get more into the Silurians and Sea Devils. Why are they doing what they are doing? Let's have that scene of them waking up, them being like, "Oh shit!" Like, and like, all right, we should have that scene of them waking up. Them waking up should be at fault because of the humans. So they have like the humans did this and they woke us up, and now we have to destroy them. I would have it so that it's not like not don't have it be a Cold War thing. Just have it be that it's a sea base. It's a sea base, and they woke up the Sea Devils. Like just have that be the story,
just have it be Doctor Who and the Silurians again.
but with the Sea Devils in a spaceship setting. I mean, sorry, in sea no, sorry, a sea station setting, deep sea station setting. There I
I
go.
feel like
Um,
you don't need to keep both the Silurians and Sea Devils.
no,
As is, having 2 different flavors of guys walking around in masks doesn't add
yeah,
anything to the story. I would pick one and
yes.
focus on it.
You do Sea Devils if you're gonna do stick with the ocean. If you're gonna do, like, in space, you do have the Silurians in space, and it's one of their ships that they sent out when they were thought they were gonna die, and they set out for rocket into space,
That's actually we've seen the Silurians in the caves. What about Silurians in space? That's a story.
which you might get at some point, but no future spoilers.
Whoa. Cut the spy stuff or make it way more interesting.
Yeah.
Like all the stuff with like we need this human operator to launch these nukes and then we're going to brainwash him with these discs and he goes crazy. No, it's too much. I can't follow it.
Yeah. That goes along with just, like, the Cold War stuff. I don't think that the Silurians are an interesting parallel to the Cold War. Like, there's nothing in the what the Silurians are as a concept that relates itself to Cold War. It's like, why? They didn't destroy the Earth. They were just like, "Oh, the meteorite's coming. The asteroid's coming. We gotta hunker down."
No, it should be like environmentalism.
Yeah, that's what the Silurians and Sea Devils is all about.
Yeah.
Which is why, again, if you did my concept of it's a sea station that they disrupt them sleeping in their environment and they're polluting the sea, like that could be interesting. But like, no, let's not
No.
let's not have any of that. Because like they don't even talk about like how radiation, like the radiation from nuclear war is hurting the Sea Devils, the Silurians. It's like none of that. That could be interesting. That's how you would incorporate them in a Cold War or a since it's so few such far in the future, 2080s, you could have said that we already had a nuclear war and that the radiation has seeped down into the ocean, and that's why they are fighting against humans. That could be an interesting concept, but
Hmm.
no, let's not do anything like that.
Oh,
But yeah, the main thing is just use the Solarians and Sea Devils as they are as a concept. Just use them as a villain because that's what they
yeah,
are. Don't just have them just be a cannon fodder for anything else.
yeah. The doctor, he talks about like, oh, they're like such a noble and respectful race, and it's not in the story. It's not in the
No.
text at all. They're just evil.
Yeah.
Um, One thing we probably should touch on before we talk about cliffhangers is uh Solo, who's the girl with like the makeup on,
Mm,
attacks the Merca. That scene where she like gives a kick to it and he is electrocuted and dies.
mm.
Behind the scenes, they wanted it to be a whole battle, but they were having problems with the prop, so they changed it to just a feeble kick.
Yes.
Um, and Eric Sayward felt the scene marred everything and wondered why J&T didn't ask for its removal. And the TARDIS Wiki says it was this footage, amongst others, that was presented by BBC executives who wanted to axe Doctor Who.
Yeah, in particular, Michael Grade, who is the guy that killed Doctor Who, cited the Merca and this episode as an example of why the show had to be ended and canceled.
Is that kick bad enough to cancel the show?
It's not the kick, Bennett. They weren't thinking about the kick. It's the Merca.
Yeah. It's this is a rough episode.
Yeah.
Um Cliffhangers?
Yes, and let's talk about one of the roughest thing about this episode, which is the cliffhangers. Ben, give us the cliffhangers.
Um
Of course,
First
starting
one,
off with a classic.
yes, the doctor falls off a little bridge into a like a channel of water. I don't know how else
Yeah.
to describe it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And Tegan wants to like help him, and Turlo says, "Face it, Tegan, he's drowned."
Okay, he's been in the water for 20 seconds at this point, right?
Not
Like,
even like 5.
and and, he's like, Deacon, he's drowned. We can't help him. We gotta get out of here. Like,
I
no, he doesn't
mean,
even say get out. We gotta get out of here. It's just like faces taken. We drowned. It's like he's drowned. It's like, what do you mean? There is nowhere near amount of time that he could drown. You literally see the air bubbles coming up from him. Like he's still breathing air. Like it's still
he is like a dead fish. He's like just like he looks like he's dying.
but like they could have just rewrote the line saying, Tegan, if you go to save him, you would die too. Like or something like that.
Anything but that. We'll come
Because
back for
drowning excuse is just it's not an excuse. He's not drowning
no.
yet.
Okay.
They have 2 huts. Time Lords probably have a better way to like, deal with drowning we do. They probably can stay underwater without oxygen for
I
longer
mean,
because it's, the
they can
hot's
like hold
such
their
a vital
breath
organ.
for like 20 minutes. They don't need as much oxygen.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, Bad. And
But
then
again, he's drowned.
Merca is about to attack the Doctor and Tegan. And Tegan yells, "That thing is gonna kill us!"
Yeah, you know what? It is gonna kill you. It's gonna kill Doctor Who. Well, it almost
And
did.
the Sea Devils kill a blinded Nilsson, and then they move to capture the Doctor and Tegan.
It is crazy though. Now that I just said that, I just clicked in my brain that the Merca, it's the closest civilian has ever come to destroying Doctor Who.
Yeah, in a sense. Um, if I had to pick the best cliffhanger, it's
Can you?
probably. It's probably one.
Yeah,
Honestly, it's
probably.
terrible, but, like,
It's memorable.
it's interesting compared to nothing of consequence in the others.
Yeah. But also, there's a good chance when we do our cliffhanger retrospective, we're gonna vote it the worst cliffhanger of all of Doctor
Oh,
Who.
for
So,
sure. So, Cam, how would you rate Warriors of the Deep?
oh, great question. Because so many people say this is the worst Doctor Who story of all time.
I buy it.
I don't think it's that bad. It's bad, but it's like, ah,
What?
it's worse than Time Flight.
Let's see.
It's
Time Flight,
worse
we
than
gave
Underworld. What under a Power Crawl I gave a 2.5. Jesus Christ. That's a great question. Paula Kroller, Warriors of the Deep. Oh my god.
as someone who rated Power of Kroll a 4, I think Warriors of the Deep is worse. Underworld, I rated a 2.4, which I think is the lowest anything has ever been rated on the show. Um, it might be lower than that.
See, I think I like this a little bit even more than Power Crawl because Power Crawl's really bad. I'm gonna go 2.6.
You know what? I'm gonna give it a 1.
Wow.
It's bad. I I wanted it. Never before have I wanted it to be over as badly as this one. It was bad. For an average rating of 1.8.
Wow.
Uh, And I bet you could guess what the polls look like.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know what it looks like at the 2014 poll.
So, well, in Doctor Who magazine does a poll every decade or so since 1998. In every polling year besides 2014, it was ranked 19, and in 2014 it was ranked 18. Uh, right above Time Flight and right below The King's Demons.
But see, the last time that we got a full poll, it was higher than the King's Demons. So it ranked number 226 out of 241. In between the Sensorites was above it, and the Curse of the Black Spot was below it.
I'm surprised, honestly, that Time Flight is lower. Like
Yeah.
Time Flight is bad, but it's bad in an interesting way.
But also at least that first pot's like watchable. I
Yeah,
am interested in that first
just like
pot of like
Underworld, there's glimmers of
yeah,
goodness before it devolves.
yeah,
This I was just bored.
throughout the whole thing.
The
Like
whole
it's
thing.
not good when it's even like the first 5 minutes, you're like, oh, I'm clocked out.
Yeah, we spend. Yeah, it's bad. So
All
join us
right.
next week for The Awakening, a two-parter, which is
Thank
hopefully
God.
better than this one. Fingers crossed. Um, one step closer to the end of Peter Davison.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to Resurrection of the Daleks before then. I'm looking forward
Yeah,
to rewatching Planet of Fire to see how that is.
yeah. The next two, Awakening and Frontios, I'm not that excited for, but
People like Frontiers, and we usually we usually mess with Christopher Bailey. Like, no, sorry, Christopher H. Mead. We fuck with him.
like I look ahead on like Letterbox, and it's it's mixed, but there are some high point defenders.
Yeah,
And what did Bidme do? Castrovalva and Logopolis. Yeah, it could be good.
there's gonna be some interesting ideas there.
Yeah, but the final three is, I think, what I'm
It's
most
not the
looking
final
forward
three.
to.
Don't lump Planet of Fire in there.
I mean, Planet of Fire. It's the departure of 2 companions and the introduction of a new one. It can't be that. It has to
Ben,
be at
you
least
can't.
interesting.
You have seen like it's now but 2 episodes with the chameleon. How often have we seen chameleon since he's joined the TARDIS crew?
Uh, he's been on the TARDIS for about 2 minutes. I mean, are you a chameleon companion denier?
We will see. I haven't seen the Awakening. I haven't seen Frontier. So like maybe in those stories he really plays a key role.
I know the answer to that.
All right, let's just save it. We'll
David.
find out next week.
Okay. Well, tune in next week for Awakening. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Goodbye, everyone.